Sorry. You weren't a match.
Let me see.
We're just gonna have to keep looking.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna go to LA. Maddie and Charlie are there right now. We can get the Winters jet. We'll fly down this afternoon, and they can take a test.
Excuse me, but who's Maddie and Charlie?
Welcome, my dear listeners. Stay with me to get the spoilers first and subscribe to the channel. Let's find out what's going to happen on The Young and the Restless. Kane's bone marrow match. Will Malcolm live? The Young and the Restless spoilers say that Kane Ashby might be the one to save the day as Malcolm Winters looks for a bone marrow match to help him with his aplastic anemia. Malcolm is reaching against time to find a family member who can donate their bone marrow for his transplant.
Lily's kids. My great kids.
You have grandchildren?
Stephanie, I'm sorry I didn't realize this sooner. Before everything.
I'm coming with you, by the way.
No.
I'm not asking.
Lily, you gotta get back to work. You gotta get back to your life. I'm gonna be fine. I promise you, you're gonna have plenty of opportunities to hold my hand down the road. It's a simple blood test. I got this.
You better.
He first asked his biological daughter, Lily Winters, but they quickly found out that she couldn't give him her bone marrow because she had cancer and had to have chemotherapy. Dr. Stephanie Simmons, who is Malcolm's doctor and was once his girlfriend, ended up telling everyone that they had a son together. Fans were shocked to learn that Holden's mother was Stephanie, who lived in Genoa City in the 1990s. His world changed when he found out that Malcolm, not Jerry Novak, was his father. Holden was tested, but the big twist in the story was that he wasn't a match for Malcolm's bone marrow. Holden now knows the truth about his fatherhood and that Lily is his sister, but this doesn't really help Malcolm. That being said, Malcolm still has two possible donors in Lily's kids, who are also his grandkids. Devon Hamilton Winters filled up his private jet and let Malcolm use it to get to Los Angeles. Charlie Ashby and Matty Ashby are going to get tested there to see if they could be bone marrow donors. People have been talking about what to do next if Matty and Charlie cannot give their bone marrow. It's easy to say where this could go. Lily will probably ask her friends and family to get tested. Lily and the rest of the Winters family hate Kane a lot. They all hated his Aristotle Dumas persona and they didn't like that he came back to Genoa City. Lily likes Kane, but both of them have done things that they have stopped a possible romance. Also, on the Tuesday, April 14 episode, Kane and Holden got into a fight that was very different from any other fight they had had before. Holden wasn't as people-pleasing as he usually is with Kane because the mogul was trying to find out why Lily was so upset. Holden finally gave in and told Kane about Malcolm and his new family roots. But first he reminded Kane that he was the reason that his ex-best friend Damaine Kane died in France last summer. Everyone seems to be on the I hate Kane train right now. So wouldn't it be interesting if Kane got tested and turned out to be a match? Malcolm even talked to Kane when he got back to GC the week of April 6 to 10, so the man might have to eat his words if Kane is the only donor. Also, Phyllis Summers is a close friend of Malcolm's, so she will be happy to know that Kane can save the man's life. This is a great way to Kane to make up for what he did wrong with the people he loves and respects the most in the small town. The Young and the Restless spoilers remind fans that the serious soap opera situation like this, Kane saving Malcolm's life, might give Lily the chance she needs to get back together with her ex. Does Malcolm die after all the matches fail? The Young and the Restless story. Lily breaks as Kane steps in. The current plot of The Young and the Restless is forcing Malcolm Winter into a desperate medical race, but the show hasn't confirmed that he is dead yet. The most recent spoilers and recaps do confirm that Malcolm has aplastic anemia and needs a bone marrow transplant. Lily cannot be a donor because she had cancer treatment in the past, and Holden turns out to be Malcolm's biological son, but he is also not a match. That leaves Lily heartbroken, the family in a panic, and Ken Ashby getting closer to the center of the crisis in a way that could change everything. The April 7 episode of Malcolm's return to Genoa City hit with old school emotional force. Michael Fairman's summary says that he met up with Lily at the GCAC, then took her to the jazz lounge in front of a picture of Neil Winters and finally told her the truth. He has aplastic anemia and needs her help to stay alive. Lily was shocked, but she quickly agreed to get tested. The scene was very emotional because it connected Malcolm's illness to Neil, Drew, and the long history of the Winters family surviving impossible situations. That hope didn't last very long. The April 8 recap says that Lily later found out she couldn't donate because of her cancer history. The April 14 update says that she is now worried enough to keep Malcolm's health news quiet while the family tries to figure out whether she or the twins can help. The same spoiler cycle makes it clear that Lily's biggest fear is losing Malcolm, and the situation is starting to feel more like a race against time than a typical medical history. Then Stephanie dropped the bomb about the fatherhood. She came with Holden on April 7 and told him the truth about his father. The recap says that Holden was revealed to be Malcolm's biological son. That made the medical emergency a family shocker because Holden quickly became Lily's half-brother and Malcolm's next possible lifeline. Michael Fairman's interview coverage says that the revelation gave Malcolm a chance at a donor match to save his life. This is why the story seemed hopeful again for a short time before the next round of bad news came in. But Holden wasn't the miracle that everyone needed. The April 14 recap says that Holden finally admitted that Lily is his half-sister. It also says that he was not a good match for Malcolm's bone marrow. That same source says that Stephanie is not talking to Lily about other options if the twin don't match, which means that the family obvious donor options are running out one by one. The article even says that Lily might soon find out that the twins aren't a match and that it will take too long to find a donor who isn't related to her. That's when the fear starts to feel very real. That's also why the current spoilers show Lily looking so emotionally broken. On April 14, Soap Opera News says she tells Stephanie how worried she is about Malcolm's health. Celeb Dirty Laundry says she is getting more and more worried about Malcolm's treatment options because she, Holden, and maybe the twins are being ruled out. The emotional heart of the story is simple. Lily wants to save her father, but every answer seems to close another door on her. That is the kind of plot that makes a soap family feel like they are running out of time. This is where Kane comes in, and the spoilers make it seem like his part is bigger than just a side character reacting from the sidelines. The April 14 recap says that Kane finds Holden brooding, figure out that it has something to do with Lily, and then learns the shocking truth about Holden's family. The same recap says that Kane tells Lily that he knows Holden is her brother, but he feels like there is more to the story. Later, he admits that he was wrong and that he cannot live without Lily in his life. That emotional admission is important because it shows that Kane is no longer just circling the Malcolm crisis. He is being pulled into it by a Lily family and regret. There is more and more talk about Kane because the current spoiler coverage is openly asking if he could be Malcolm's next life-saving option. One article asks if Kane could be a match for bone marrow, and another says there is a good chance he will be involved in Lily's eventual miracle for Malcolm, either as the donor himself or as the person who helps find one. Another report says that Malcolm's situation could make Kane more understanding and make it easier for him to talk to Lily. In soap opera terms, this means that Kane will go from trying to fix his emotional problems to doing something more heroic. That is not a confirmed fact yet, but it is where the story seems to be going. That's why the Kane steps in. Part of the story is so important. He may not be the confirmed donor yet, but he is definitely getting involved in both the emotional and practical sides of this crisis. Holden tells Kane about his new family situation. Lily talks to Stephanie about her worries, and Kane's desire for revenge on Victor may become less important than his desire to help Lily. That means Kane is becoming a establishing force at the same time that the Winter family is at its most unstable. Who gives him a chance to matter in a way he hasn't in a while? The sad thing is that Malcolm's chances are getting worse right in front of the family. According to the latest spoilers, Holden wasn't a match, Lily isn't a possibility, and the twins might not be matches either. At that point, the show goes off from looking for a family member to looking for a non-relative donor, which is always scarier because it means more time, uncertainty, and delays. That is why the headline about Malcolm dying after all the matches fail is so powerful. Even though that isn't confirmed, the story is meant to make the audience feel how close the family is to losing him. The story is also making the Winters family into more than just a medical case, which is important. The April 14 recap says that Stephanie wants Malcolm to be able to connect with Holden, and the April 13 to 17 spoilers say that Lily might be able to connect with Holden as well. The reward for Malcolm is more than just a transplant if he lives. It's a rebuilt family tree, and all of a sudden Holden is part of the Winters bloodline. Lily has to deal with being both a brother and a father at the same time. In that way, the crisis is like two soap operas at once. It's threatening Malcolm's life and changing the family's future. So the best way to read the current story is like this. Malcolm is not confirmed dead, but the show has put him in a life or death situation where all the easy donor options are failing. Lily is breaking down under the pressure, and Kane is coming into the story as both an emotional lifeline and a possible medical solution. The April spoilers make it clear that the next part could go in one of two ways. Either the family finds a miracle, or Malcolm's health gets worse and worse until it becomes the kind of tragedy that everyone saw coming too late. The story is now deep in the emotional zone that makes the young and the restless tick, no matter what. And this is where the family quietly shifts. Because it's no longer just about finding a donor, it's about redemption knocking on the door when no one wants to open it. Kane standing on the outside of that family circle feels heavier now, because the one man everyone blames might become the one man they cannot live without. And that kind of twist doesn't just kill a body, it shakes every emotion they have been holding on to. Personally, I think this is exactly the kind of storytelling the young and the restless does best. When forgiveness becomes more painful than anger, and when saving a life might cost someone their pride. But here's the real question. If Kane is the match, will Lily be able to look past everything he's done, or will gratitude turn into something even more complicated, maybe even love again? And what about Malcolm? If he survives, how does he live knowing his second chance come from the one person his family couldn't stand? Because let's be honest, sometimes survival isn't the end of the story, it's the beginning of the hardest part. Now here's my prediction. The show is building toward a moment where all hope seems gone. The twins won't be a match, the clock will run out, and just when everything feels lost, Ken steps forward with the one answer no one wanted and no one can refuse. And when that moment hits, it won't feel like a victory, it will feel like a death. So the real cliffhanger isn't just will Malcolm live, it's what will it cost everyone if he does. Would you forgive someone like Kane in that situation, or would the past still be too heavy? And do you think this could truly bring Lily and Kane back together or tear them apart even more? If this storyline is pulling you in, keep watching closely because the next move might change everything, and not in the way anyone expects.